lovelies. Hold on, let's get that music down so it doesn't annoy everybody. There we go. I think I've got the music low enough. Hello, my lovely flosstube friends. Feels like it's been forever. Can everybody hear me? Let's have a look. Oh, right, okay. I feel like it's been so long since I've done this. I know, it's not been. Okay. Hello from Cloudy, USA, Rachel, Sharon, oh my, wow. Michelle, Melissa, Linda. Hello in Sweden. I would love to say your name. I will probably butcher it. Hi Linda, welcome to the stream. Hey Mary, sweetheart. 20,000 subscribers, I know. You know when it was just like, we're never going to get there. And I'm going to tell you this because you won't know this, but about 4 days ago, I hit 20,000 subscribers. And I was going to do a community post going, we got there. Finally, we're there. I need to do something special. And all of a sudden, it dropped to 19,999. So I was like, oh. I was like, okay. Well, not at 20,000 subscribers. But then I checked again today before I went on the stream. And I was like, wow, we're back to 20,000 subscribers. Oh, look at you all, you lovely, lovely lots. Music is too loud. Is the music too loud? Is the music too loud? Let me see if I can turn it down for you. Congratulations. Hi, Lynn Skegness. Yes, music is loud. Really? It's only on number 2. Hold up. What about now? How's that? Let me try turn it. Oh, maybe I need to turn it down. Maybe I need to turn this down. Hold up. Yes, the music's too loud. How is the music still too loud? Oh, it's got a life of its own now. Okay, let me try something. Better. Music's fine now. Okay, so are we all right now? Why don't you just shut it off, Teresa? We don't need it. I like the Christmas music because I can hear it in the background, just marginally. Music's loud and your mic is low. Okay, all right. Point made, people. Music is going off. How about that? Is that better? I don't know how to turn the microphone. Let me see if I can turn the microphone up a bit more. Is that any better? It doesn't help that my microphone's so far away. But then if I move this microphone, you're all going to sort of just get blasted. There we go. Is that any better? Yes, that's better. Yes. Oh, look. So many of you liked it as well. I'm going to have to find a... Hold on. Hold on. I can hear you clearly. Have my iPad on 25% volume. Could be the individuals. Yep. I can hear you good. No problems. Okay. Let me... Right. So... Oh, I've switched the music off now. We're a miserable lot, aren't we? No, you're not. No. Do you know what? There's nothing worse than going on something. Can you try on volume 1? Can I try what on volume 1? You're loud now, so the music might be okay. 1 to 1.2 seems to be good. It was on 1.1 and then I switched it off and you were all saying it was still too loud. I don't know if I can get it back. Hold on. Oh no, I probably could. Hold on. Let me try this. Hold up. Look, we're going with the whole tech thing whilst live here. This is new. Hold on. Open. Now you all need to tell me if it's far too loud, okay? Because if it's far too loud, I need to turn it off. Okay, it's on number 1. Okay. How are we doing now? I think it's the jokiness of the music. It's more distracting, but as you settle it. You gotta love a live, right? Ah. Okay, we're all okay for number 1. I think it's good now. Wonderful. It might be because actually I think the microphone was a bit too far away. I used to have a microphone with one of them boom things that used to come in, but I always found it distracting because it was like, it's like right there. And then it was like in the picture as well. And I'm like, no one wants to see this massive, great big monstrosity hanging and dangling just there. Okay. Right. If the music gets too loud, you'll have to let me know. Okay. So I'm going to minimize it so that it disappears for me. Ah, people, where is the time going? I've got to share this with you. So, you know, I was saying to you that it's been pretty mild here and, you know, we haven't had any bad weather. Well, literally, we had like this cold snap and it has been absolutely freezing for about a week and a half to 2 weeks. So it was like a complete shock to the system. The heating had to be cranked on. And would you believe it? It is snowing outside now. We have snow. Yay! Although, believe it or not, I did do my hair before I started the stream. But I'd also done dinner. So I had to run my dinner, or run dinner down to Mum, down the end of the garden. So I put a plate over a plate, you know how you do. Ran down there, opened the door, went flying out, didn't even realise it was snowing. And it completely ruined the hair. So yeah, we had to sort of stick some clips in and hide how bad it got. Oh dear, that's okay, I have a headset on. Wonderful, wonderful. Hi Charlotte. You'd like to find the button to turn your 5-year-old down. Thankfully, there are no 5-year-olds in the house. Although I have got 2 very, very naughty puppies, which I will talk to you about as we go. So let's see who is on the stream. Wow, there's a lot of you today. Music at 1 is good. All fine for me. I'm watching on the TV, maybe individual systems. Hello in Milton Keynes, welcome to the stream. Michelle, it's snowing here in Toronto too. Well, at least it's not just me then. Hello Teresa, my first time here. I'm so excited. I live in Illinois. Welcome to the stream, newcomers. We do love newcomers. Well, actually, we just love everyone here. Everything's fine. Everyone loves everyone on this stream. Hi Teresa, your hair looks fine. Looks good. Thank you, Emma. Hi in New Jersey. Is that New York or New Jersey? Cold and rainy here. Hi Holly, welcome to the stream. It's been snowing in Denmark too. Why is your mum having dinner at the bottom of the garden? Well, for those that watch the Teresa Little Stitcher flosstube, they know that there's always a lot of talk about mum. So the setup that we have here is that we live in one house at this end of the plot, and we built a separate bungalow at the other end of the plot for my mum. So my mum lives in her own dwelling in her own bungalow at the end of the plot, and I literally just run out my back door, run down the garden, and yeah. So when I'm doing dinners on Saturdays and Sundays, or you know, I just nip down the garden to see mum. And then obviously when I come home from work, I go down, have a cup of tea with her every night, make sure she's, you know, she's had someone to chat to and all that good stuff. And that way I get to keep an eye on her, make sure she's not up to any mischief. Although today, I guarantee you, she is not watching this stream. This will be like she'll watch it back because the ladies' league football's on and my mum loves football. So yeah, so mum is camped out down there having her lovely yummy food, watching the football. Hi Jill, welcome to the stream. Gonna start snowing any minute. Oh, 80 degrees here in Texas. I miss the cold weather. No, don't miss it. Don't miss it that much. All I can say is thankfully I've got a car that's got like a hybrid, and I can heat the car from indoors. So I just go onto my little app and press the button and it heats the car up and defrosts all the windows, because I had a bit of a bugbear hatred of having to go out and scrape windows, which I'm sure in the USA you don't go around scraping windows, but here in the UK most of us have to go out there, and you hear nothing like other than scrapers on people's windows at like 6-7 o'clock in the morning, where we're all trying to sort of make the car ready to leave. Hi Teresa, good to see you. Hi Michelle. I love that family is close to you, so caring. Ah, do you know what? It's the best setup ever. It really is. I don't need to, because working so far away from home and having a 4-hour commute a day, could you imagine if I wanted to go and see my mum every night like I do now, I wouldn't come home before 9, half 9 every night. By the time I got in on the train and then gone round to my mum, sorted mum out and then come back to mine. Yeah, so this setup is perfect. Absolutely perfect. I finished a small project by a fat quarter shop, getting back into stitching after all my wall embroidery projects. I'm surprised how much I remember from the 80s. It's like riding a bike, isn't it? You're a little bit rusty when you first start, but once you get going, it's as if you was never gone. Hey Karen, my lovely, welcome to the stream. Good evening, my dear. Had a few flurries this morning, now just raining. No, it's definitely not raining. Actually, they're quite big flakes. When I'm in here with all the lights on and I'm looking outside and it's pitch black and I can see these big flurries of snow. So yeah, I'll have to get my moon boots out, people. Absolutely hate scraping the frost and ice off the car. Would rather shovel a foot of snow. Yeah, well, hopefully we don't get a foot of snow. I'm not sure I'm down with that. Just a little flurry on the floor, you know, make everything white. We're good. We're good. Michelle says my mum is 15 and a half hours drive away, so I get it. Oh, that must be so tough, my lovely. Cheese that hubby just got door open so everyone can see the snow, and now it's so cold. Oh, Emma, tell him to shut that door. Shut that door. Glasgow is at minus 1.5 at present, but no snow yet. Will be on its way. Actually, temperature wise, I think, because we've been like -2, -3. Where are we at now? Feels like, yeah, so we're at -4 Celsius. I'm not quite sure what that is in Fahrenheit. So cold, frosty West Yorkshire. Hi Julie, welcome to the stream. I'm new and not sure what the 10th stitch or 2/2 means. That's okay, Monica. We can work through that with you. We're very good at that. Okay, right. Seems as we're all here, and I've done like, I would say I've done 0 stitching, but that would be a bit of a lie. I've managed a little bit of chain stitching going into London, and I've finished some of my Christmas finishy things. I've still got one to go. But in all fairness, with the World Cup on, when I've been coming home, I've been getting so engrossed in that. And, well, I think the whole stitching Christmas projects has really put me off. So every time I went to do it, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. And I knew I couldn't do anything else because it's like I had to do my Christmas finishes. I've just been delaying things. So this is going to be quite refreshing, the fact that I'm actually going to get to sit here and stitch something that I want to stitch rather than being forced to stitch. So let's fling on over so I can show you what we've been up to. Now, there has been some messages on my on the YouTube channel saying that people couldn't see the chat on the screen because it wasn't clear enough. So for those of you that are watching this on TVs and iPads and the like, can you just confirm that the chat box now over to your right hand side is clear and you can read what it says? Because I know that a lot of people that watch these on replay like to watch the chat. And for those that watch it on TV, I don't think that they can use the little chat box at the bottom to get the chat to come up. I think on the TV the chat has to be on the screen. Love to see anything you're stitching. Oh, Monica, thank you, my lovely. I guess I shouldn't tell you all that it is 73 Fahrenheit here in Port Charlotte. Oh, what I would do with some of that. Yes, we can see the chat on the screen. Oh, it's going to be one of them days, and I haven't even had a Bailey's yet. On phone, but can see it now. I'm on the iPad. I can separate chat running to the right. Yeah. Mary, Those on iPads and bits and pieces, I think they can, but a lot of the people that do it off of their TVs can't do it. Although I'm just looking at the chat box and I'm not seeing the chat box moving. I've seen one message. Oh, no, there you go. Oh, see, now that's going to be a problem, isn't it? Did you see how that sort of went whizzing along? Right, I don't know how we get around that. It seems to only show one comment, same comment on the TV. Do you know what? I think I'm going to have to get Lauren, the little tech guru, to come and sort it out because it's always a bit of an issue. Hi, Tina. Welcome to the stream. Well, as you can see, here he is in all his glory. I've been working on him on the train. So we've got a little bit of backstitch. He doesn't look like he's doing drugs now. He looks like he should do. So we can tell he's got a beard. But I decided today I didn't want to stitch on the white. I'm sort of getting a bit burnt out with the white. So I've decided that today we're going to stitch, I think, providing we're in the right place. I was thinking maybe I might start over here. We might have to come back down to the white if I disappear off the screen under here, because then you won't be able to see it stitching. He's so handsome. Oh, do you know what? When I first started him, I was like, well, I didn't like the fabric. But now it's like, it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different ball game. Since I put it on a Q-snap and I can get it really close to my face, I can see it much better. Yes, I can see the chat. Teresa, have you seen the new Christmas Bella Philip? Yes. Yes, I have seen it. Have you all seen it? Have you all seen that lovely new chart? Yeah, Charlotte. I think it was Charlotte. Charlotte, was it you? It was. Charlotte flung it over to me. I think there was a few others of you that actually flung it over and I was like, oh, no, he's gone and done it again. Here we go again, another rabbit hole. But hey, for those of you that might want to jump in on the whole Teresa made me do it sale and you was a bit unsure what you wanted to stitch, if you, I don't know whether you could get it all for now, but you could always start that at the new year. That would be a good new start. Very festive nails, love it. Yes, yes, it's the festive Christmas nails are in. I must admit that they turned out a little bit more sparkly all over than I imagined that they was going to be. But yeah. Do you know what? I've got floss tube itchy nose now. That's not good, is it? I have this finished and framed. It stays up all year round. I can imagine. Because he's a bit of a beastie, isn't he, to stitch? Teresa, I'm doing a cross-stitch Christmas card for my pen pal in Canada. Oh, well done, sweetheart. You're better than me. You're much better than me. Hi, Teresa. Arriving late, but better than never. I have the time mixed up here. Don't worry. There's never too late. It's never too late. Not on this stream. And to be honest, well, you know what I'm like. I can chat for Britain, so I've done lots of chatting and done no stitching anyway, so I haven't really done much of anything as yet. I'm so excited for my first Lady Veronica. It's perfect for me. Oh. Hi, Teresa. I wrote... No, done that one. Oh, Judith, my lovely. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much. Love, love, love. He needs to make them PDFs so we can start them straight away. Yeah, Charlotte, that's going to be the only problem, is whether everyone's going to be able to get their hands on it. About the sale, what if we do not get the project we plan to do by January 8th? Can we still use the hashtag? Well, the first day that I'm going to start the sale and we're going to do a live is going to be on the 1st. But for those of you that are just not quite ready, of course you can jump in whenever you've got whatever it is that you need, or yeah. No hard and fast rules. We don't make it harder than it needs to be here. In fact, we're quite lucky that even I'm making it, because we had a bit of an issue getting our hands on the chart that I ordered. So at this rate, I could end up with 2. Hey, the stitch along which you started, there should be a limit of what people can stitch a day, because people will be finished before others. That's fine. that is totally fine. If anyone wants to start and stitch like a Trojan, then that is totally fine by me. I guarantee you I'm going to be one of the people that will be totally left behind, but it's just about sort of stitching along. But I mean, some people are going to be working on bigger projects than other people. So I've got a dog scratching at the door, which I'm hoping my husband is going to come and fix momentarily. Oh, apparently his idea of fixing the problem is let them in with me. Girls, no. Go and lay down. On the beds. On the beds. Of course they had to make an appearance. God forbid. Hold on. Let me... On the beds. Bonbons up. Lay down. Can you see them? Hang on. Let me see if I can move out the way. There they are, look. They went out. They went out before it snowed. So they should be actually quite tired. Although they don't look very tired to me. And they have been super naughty people. Have I got stuff to tell you about what those two have been up to? But before I do, let me just make sure that I've got a wiggle on here so that I know where I'm at. Let me just make sure that I get my first stitch in. Just so that I can say I did a stitch. There we go. We've got one stitch in. Right, I can stop and chat now. Hi Isabel, my lovely. Welcome to the stream. Yes, it's freezing, isn't it? I'm going to watch your stream from January 1st on the 2nd and start then. Okay, well, on the 31st, I will make sure I do not party too hard. Stacey, so when I say I'm going to do a live stream, I'm going to do a live stream and start mine. But that doesn't mean that everybody else has to do the same. If you're not ready, that's fine. Join in when you can. Like I say, some people are going to have bigger projects than others. Some will be doing pixies or fairies or fancy ladies or a fancy man or mermaids. And they all come in different shapes and sizes. So whether it be a Bella Filipina, whether that be a Mirabilia, whether that be a Celtic lady, whether that be, the list goes on. There are a whole lot of them. Your decision. No hard and fast rules here. For those that wanted to, I think there's a number of us that are all going to be stitching on the same project, which is the Magwayan chart. So let me just remind us. Charlotte, let's see if I can find you. Where did you post it? Charlotte? Where is it, Charlotte? That's the man. It's on here somewhere. I could just get my chart, couldn't I? It might be easier. Charlotte, can you ping it to me? Ping me Magwayan so that I can remind those, and for the new people that are on the stream that don't know what chart it is that we're doing. But that's not to say that everyone has to stitch the same chart. So everyone can stitch whatever they like. As long as it's a fancy lady, a fancy man. I mean, well, this is what we were saying about the new chart that has just been brought out by Bella Filipina. Oh, where is it? How cute is she? She is just stinking cute, isn't she? Would you look at her? She is divine. Absolutely divine. Of course, I have a sneaky suspicion she might have to jump in my basket, because it would be rude not to. Thank you, Charlotte. Right, so this is the Magwayan. So this is how it all started. So this is the new Bella Filipina Magwayan chart. That is what started this chaos of the whole Teresa made me do it. So there are a number of us that are going to be working on this particular chart. But obviously that's not to say that everyone has to stitch that. Like I said, it's more a case of if you've got something in your stash that is already started, that's fine. If you've got something, you know, a whip of a fancy something or another that you quite fancy jumping in on the sale with, you can use that. If you fancy yourself something new, it's that. If you've already got a whip that you currently, you know, stuck in a pile somewhere out the way and you knew you wanted to get round to doing it at some point, you could use that. It's literally a case of, as long as it's a fancy type one, then that's totally fine. Totally fine. Hold on. 2, 3. There we go. I know you said no heights, but I'm doing a mini, so I'm going with that. That's fine. That's fine. I'm going to stitch Bellatrix. She's all ready to start. Great stuff, Marlene. Oh my God, I love this so much. I could cry. Love it. Does anyone know when it's being released? Good shout. Is it on the website to say when it's going to be released? Because I've got a sneaky suspicion that might be hopping in my basket. And I tell you what, it took all of my willpower this weekend not to let that Triton leap into my basket. The only reason I say that is I needed, would you believe it? I've lost a thread. It's been chaos here. There's Christmas presents everywhere. I've been trying to do too many different things all at once. I used a skein of a certain colour. I think it was 304. Yeah, it's a Merry Christmas red. I used a skein of that for one of my little ornament things. And I need the same thing to do the outside border of the next ornament, because there's 2 of them. And for the life of me, I cannot find the thread anywhere. I mean, you watch. Now that I've ordered it, it'll appear, but I couldn't find it anywhere. It was gone. So I had to go onto the website to try and order it, and in the hope that it's going to turn up by Wednesday, because I need to have my ornament finished for Thursday. Because I was like, well, I'm not going to pay all that postage for one skein of threads. So yeah, Triton basically nearly jumped into the basket, and then right at the last minute I was like, no, do you know what, just pay the postage, Teresa. You don't need any more charts. You watch, I'll be kicking myself now that I've just paid, I don't know, £2 for postage and 89p for a skein of floss. I've chosen Mermaids of the Deep Blue by Mirabilia. Fabulous. I'll also be doing a Mirabilia. And yeah, that's fabulous. We should do a stitch along mini Heaven and Earth. Well, I have to say that I'm not really getting much done on my full coverages at the moment. But then I'm not getting much done on anything at the moment, if I'm completely honest with you. My stitching has just took a massive nosedive. Absolutely massive. I've been so busy with work. I've got I've got my boss, but he's brought on a deputy, and I'm now going to be looking after him and his deputy for about a year. And let's just say the workload just sort of, although I was thinking that it would just be a shared workload, the workload just doubled. So I've been so busy, and then obviously with the whole sorting out Christmas, trying to get my Christmas presents. It's Lauren's birthday this week coming, so it was getting her birthday presents, getting my mum's stuff sorted out. Yeah, and then obviously the World Cup, that doesn't help because I can't stitch and watch the World Cup, because every time I look down to do a stitch, they score, and then I feel like I've just missed out on what happened. So yeah, I ended up sort of doing 3 stitches and then putting everything down all the time. April says, I'm going to start a chatelaine. That's perfectly fine, April. What one are you going to start? I'm doing Red Tina, hun. Teresa, can you send that to me, please? She looks so cute. What, the new one, Emma? Hold up. What's she called? Hollyberry Pixie. That one. Oh, where are we? That one, Emma? Is that the one that you mean? She's the new Bella Filipina that's just been released. So if you go on to the Facebook group, the Bella Filipina Facebook group, she'll be posted on there, I would have thought. She's just so, so cute. I'm starting Cinderella from Mirabilia. I just have to get the fabric. Wonderful. Oh, actually, you just reminded me. So I must get my fabric. I've decided I'm going to try and hand dye my own fabric rather than trying to buy some, because it's not going to arrive in time. I'm still trying to decide which one. Bex, it's a hard decision to make. Hey, Morty. Have you seen the news that Flybe will be running flights from Newark to Stansted next summer? No, I hadn't heard that. Does that mean you might be gracing us with your presence, my love? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I'm always ready to watch, then I have to rush off. It was too loud. I've got headphones on hubby's TV, so all good. Dina in Hull. Hi Dina, my lovely. As long as you've got your headphones on, I'll try not to shout too loud. If I do, you just have to, ping them out to your ears. Teresa, how's your back doing now? Do you know what? The back was doing fabulous, people. It really, really was. I was actually pleasantly surprised, because I thought it was better. Like, to the point that it was a complete false alarm. It was just having a moment. But then I had to go out in the garden because I had a suspicion that there would be some snow, and we had freezing frost for about a day and a half. I'd left my dahlias and my cannas in because obviously I was in no fit state to lift them. So because I was feeling so good, yesterday I went out in the garden and was like, well, I'll just go out and just lift the cannas. I'll leave the dahlias in and I'll just cut them down and I'll do my mulching, because that way at least they're protected. Yeah, it felt a bit twangy this morning, and then would you believe it, I was doing the hoovering upstairs today, and when I was doing the hoovering, I caught it a couple of times where it sort of just stopped me, and I was like, oh, that's not good. So yeah, thought we was perfectly fine. Just goes to show. Doesn't take a lot, does it, to sort of put you back a bit. But it's not bad. It's not where it was. I'm not crawling around on all floors or anything like that. What type of work do you do? So, Kim, I'm an executive assistant. Basically, a glorified skivvy is what I am. That's my main job. So I just organise someone else, and that's the ironic thing. I'm so good at organising everybody else and absolutely terrible at organising myself, because I'm always trying to do too many things at once. Sorry about England in the World Cup. Yeah, Michelle, it was a hard match to watch yesterday, but the boys did as good as they could. That's all we can ask for. Teresa, can you give me some advice, please? Used to stitch on white fabric, but gone to black fabric. So, Maria, is it that you always stitch on white and you've just decided to go black, or are you stitching on black? What advice do you need? I will have everything but one skein by next week to start the Snow Queen. Yay, June! The Snow Queen, that's a gorgeous design. So April's going to be stitching the Sparkling Peacock Mandala. I'm very excited. I didn't even know about them until I saw Teresa's Evening in the Park, of which is still not done, and Charlotte's is finished. And she started hers way after mine. Yeah, that's how slow I'm stitching. Yes, that's the one. Oh, great. I'll go on there. Thanks. Emma, yeah. She's divine, isn't she? Isn't she so cute? Stinking cute. Hold up. Let me just count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Teresa, you have so enabled me. I got the Pip and Chips. Love them. They are glorious, I have to say. Do you know what, though? That's another job I still haven't done. I still keep saying I must get round to finishing getting all of the skeins out of the drawer and putting them on their respective floss chips. That's another thing that I still haven't done. Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe one day when we do one of these lives, so that I can spend more time actually seeing the chat, because the chat moves so fast for me. It makes it really difficult for me to catch everyone's comments or answer everyone's questions. Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should have like I should load up floss chips while streaming rather than me stitching, because then I think it might be easier. trying to do my stitching and to talk to you. But it might be a bit more boring for you to sit there watching me do that, I must admit. It depends on what sort of thing you like. If you like to actually see me do some stitching, then yeah. Then this is the way it has to be. Where are we? There we are. Hold on. There's lots of hold-ons whenever I start stitching. I'm late, I'm light. I just woke up from my afternoon nap. It's 2:30 here. Candy, you're not late. No one is ever late to one of my streams. We know this. We know this because Teresa can talk for Britain. I ordered fabric from Sparkly's, but since her recent loss, I doubt I'm going to get it in time. I also ordered fabric from Alice, so I hope that I can get either, or so I can do either one. Yeah, Silver Stitches, I'm sort of in the same boat. So I had my eye on a fabric that Kate at Sparkly's does, but with the fact that I still haven't had the chart, I don't think, even if I ordered fabric, there's no way for it to get here. So because of that, I think I've decided that I'm going to try dyeing my own fabric to see what happens. I messed my back out working on my strawberries, but my wonderful chiropractor fixed me up for the moment. Oh, Mary, that's good to hear. Charlotte says her evening in the park's going to the frames as soon as Dad's car is better. How exciting, Charlotte. I think I might stitch Maria Macalini. I've got that one, Broom. And I've got the fabric for it. I've got the perfect fabric and I've got the chart. She is lovely. Stitch on black fabric but want to go back to white fabric. Maria, then just go back to white fabric. What are you worried about? If you used to stitch on white fabric and now you've gone to black fabric and you're going to go back to white fabric, what's stopping you? What are you worried about? Trust me, if you can stitch on black fabric, you can definitely go back to stitching on white fabric. I struggle really badly with dark fabrics. Hello in Scotland. Finally, I've got Sunday day off so I can enjoy the live. I really enjoy to see what you ladies choose for New Year's start. I will start Rose Celebrations by Mirabilia. Rose Celebrations. Let me have a look. Don't know that one. Why do I not know that one? Hang on. Rose Celebrations. Rose Celebrations. Mirabilia. Oh wow, she's gorgeous, isn't she? See, this is why I like going on these lives, because I get totally enabled. Oh wow, look, let's share. Look, people. Would you look at that? Wow, wow, wow. That is gorgeous, isn't it? Now that's going to be a beautiful fancy lady, that's for sure. Donna says, I've lost 2 needles since you started, currently on all fours on the floor. Well, as long as that's the only reason you're on all fours on the floor, my love. I know the feeling about losing needles. I do have a tendency of doing it myself just recently. But it's a bit more worrying if I do it now because, yeah. Having the pooches, you have to be a bit mindful. Oh, it's an out of print one. Where did I just see that? Hold on, people. Oh wow. Oh wow. That's very expensive, isn't it? Oh, oh, it's making me glow just at the sheer price of it. What a glorious chart. See, what would I do without these people that fill me in with the juicy details of the details that I should really know? Hold up, let me check. Where are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, I knew it. We nearly made a boo-boo, people. Very nearly. But not quite. Hi, Danny. Welcome to the stream. Morning from New Zealand. Hi from South Africa. We had load shedding till 9:30. I think you're behind us about 1 hour. Love your Father Christmas. She's been needle turn applique today, making new cushions for Christmas. Glorious. Monica says, I'm doing Sister Moon. It's beautiful. Not really sure, but hopefully I can finish it someday. I think we're all in the same boat. Especially with anything bigger than an ornament, apparently, for me. Because I don't seem to be able to get anything finished. But then I do keep doing all the starts, don't I? And do you know what? I'm good with that. My days of sort of panicking or worrying that I was stitching on things forever and never finishing anything seem to have sort of up and disappeared. I don't mind anymore. Not at all. Not even a little bit. Right, so Maria says she's worried because my cross stitch will not go right on white fabric. Why wouldn't it go right on white fabric? What, you mean your stitches won't look as nice on white fabric as they do on black fabric? She's gorgeous. Same, I ordered from Sparkly's. Teresa, wow. She's stunningly beautiful. Unfortunately, yes, that's the only reason. Oh, Donna. Best you keep grovelling around on that floor looking for those needles. Because I'll guarantee you, your foot will find it if you don't do that. Are you stitching from a paper chart or pattern keeper or other app? Whilst I'm doing the lives, I'm stitching from paper. But normally I would PDF, well, I take a scan of the chart, and I normally work from my iPad. But because I'm doing this on live, rather than having yet another thing to have in front of me on the table, I just have a little chart, or a portion of the chart up here. And then what I do is when I get off the stream, I go onto my iPad and I mark off all the bits that I did, so that the one on the iPad is always up to date, she says. And I'm finding that this is so at the moment, our Mr. Father Christmas here, or our Winter White Santa, he has been my train project. So I've been stitching him on my train. Because there was so much white, I was sort of like, I know what I'm like. I get really bored of stitching the white. And there's quite a lot of that white there on his beard. So yeah, easy train stitching. Although at the moment there doesn't seem to be any easy train stitching, because all of my train stitching currently, I'm just going to put that up there out the way. All of my train stitching, because it's so dark in the mornings when I'm on the train, it's so dark that I really have to, I'm not going to put a light on. There's no way I'm either going to, have one of them lights on top of my head, or have one of them lights that sits on the little Q-snap, because that, yeah, I don't think they'd appreciate that on the train, having a little glowy light glowing at them. Anyone else have pets who insist on sitting on your lap while stitching? My cat keeps bopping. Oh, I've missed it. Where did it go? Sorry, it disappeared off the... You disappeared then off of the chat. This chat is moving so fast. Okay, let's start where we're at. So, working on my log dog tap dancer, I believe I've taken more out than I'm learning and enjoying it. Good stuff. Good stuff. As long as we're enjoying our stitching, I think that's the most important thing. It's like with me, although I'm sitting here sort of, I do get myself quite worked up because I'm not getting to my stitching as much as I would like. But it's like a double-edged sword at the moment, because when I then do sit down and do some stitching, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm like, yes, this is what I needed. Because I'm not in my happy place unless I do that. So, but then, because I've been stitching on Christmassy things, I say Christmassy things, but basically the things that I need to do for Christmas, it sort of makes it so that I'm like, if I know that I have to go and pick that up, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. So I've been very reluctant to do that, but I'm more than happy to sit and stitch on Winter White Santa. But I am starting to get itchy feet to put Winter White Santa away and get something else out now. So yesterday I thought I dropped a needle and searched a full 5 minutes, then looked in my needle minder and there it is sitting. Ever done that? Yes. As well as I've been looking all over the place for the needle that I've dropped and found it in my bra when I've gone to bed that night and I've gone to take my bra off and there's a needle in there. That's happened as well. Don't ask me how it managed to get in there, I have no idea. Hi Teresa, the cross stitch kit I got is 11 count and I got 14 count pattern. So can you tell me how many floss I used? I'm not quite sure. Right, can anyone help with this question? Because she's asked me this a number of times and I've never quite got my head around what it is she's trying to say. So, Teresa, so the cross stitch kit I got is 11 count. So I'm assuming the fabric in the kit is 11 count. And I got 14 count pattern. Okay, so you've got 11 count fabric, you've got 14 count pattern, is that right? So can you tell me how many floss? Well, if it's a kit, you don't need to worry about how many floss you need. Or is it that you're worried about how many strands of floss you should use? I'm not sure. Someone help, please, if you understand what that question is, because I'm not sure I'm understanding what the question is. The amount of times I've lost needles, we use magnetics. I once found a needle I didn't even know that I'd lost by standing on it. The eye end went into my foot. Oh, that's making me shudder. Just thought. I soon started yelling for my dad to come and pull it out, but he didn't hear me, so I had to do it. Oh, you had to pull it out yourself, Bex. Oh, you're a braver lady than me. No, I would be screaming. I mean, of course, we all would have to pull it out if there's no one to help us, but it's not a nice thing to have to consider. Okay, the chat just jumped, so where are we now? Hello from the Netherlands. Finally, I caught a live stream. Love your work. Hi, Cindy. Welcome to the stream. Linda says, love your nails. Yes, we're gone with the... They've gone very, very festive, haven't they? We've gone with a whole nother level of festive. It wasn't the plan. I went to the nail shop thinking... Because I said to them, can you do it so that I've got red nails and then make the engagement finger on both hands like a nice sparkly colour? And yeah, I think they misinterpreted what I meant by red nails with a bit of sparkle. They just went all sparkle. But I was like, oh, whatever. It's done now. Hi, Natalie. Welcome to the stream, sweetheart. Oh, we've got a new subscriber. Sandra Sterling. Thank you for joining the club. Hope you're enjoying yourself. I have Markup XP and love it, and now with full pages it's great. Yeah, I have tried that markup, but I think I'm still liking the Pattern Keeper, and also I still quite like my good old original, the Good Notes, especially for projects like this where it's not like a full coverage. I don't know why. I am a bit of a creature of habit, aren't I? Oh. Okay, so it looks like there's lots of answers to the question that I just asked for the 11 count, 14 count pattern fabric kit thing. Teresa, did you get your shelves for your pip and chips from IKEA? Can you tell me which ones? Yeah, so those are the cubes. They're just the cube boxes. So those ones down there, that's just the normal, I think they're called the Cuda. Are they? She says, hold on. I think they're called Cuda cubes. IKEA, is it? Let me just Google that for you. Yeah, so it's the cube storage at IKEA. They are called the Kallax cubes. So here. Let me put it here for you. Where's my needle so that I don't pop it out? So it's them. So what I did was I got 2 singles. So where are they? There's mine. So I got 2 of these and then just put one on top of the other. But I like it because I like the big chunky sides. So mine have got like the 2 big chunky sides sort of together, which makes it look like a chunkier effect. But if you want to be cost saving, because you know, in today's situations, they do the same thing here, which is a set 2, but it has a skinny bar in the middle. So that would be the only difference. But instead of having it upright like they've got it, you would literally just turn it on its side and put it on the floor. That's what I did. But I think that might be shorter that way than if you go with 2 singles. So 2 singles, so they're 42 centimeters tall. And that's 77 centimeters tall. So, yeah. So because they're 42 centimeters, and then I flip them onto their side, so they are 84 centimeters, one on top of the other. This one would be slightly closer to the ground. So this one would be 77. But obviously this is much cheaper than 2 of those. But yeah, that's what I did. Right, back to stitching, she says. I've probably missed so many questions then. Oh, your phone is showing backwards, is it? How funny. Do you still do 2 strands of floss? Oh, we've got another super chat. Oh, Stacey, my lovely, you're too kind. Oh, thank you so much. Love, love, love. Can we have some heart and love and claps in the chat for another super chat? Oh, yeah, I love this. I love this. You're all so wonderful. So wonderful. And the fact that we've hit the 20,000 subscriber mark is just like, you know, when you're just like, where did all these people come from? And then I'm sitting there thinking, what am I going to do? You know, I need to do something that's, you know, momentous and meaningful. And you know, when you think of how can I share with you how I feel about having hit 20,000 subscribers? Because yeah, it's a buzz. I'll tell you that much. It is a total buzz. And I feel totally privileged to have got there, because yeah, that is a lot of subscribers, that is a lot of people, that is a lot of love. So I'm trying to figure out the best way for me to sort of show the love back, because I do appreciate all the support, and I've always had lots and lots of lovely people on my channel and lots of lovely comments and subscribers. But yeah, to hit 20,000 is just like, yeah, it's big for me. But then even when I had 1,000 subscribers, it was big for me. That's an amazing achievement. 20,000 subscribers and all around the world. You are well loved. Well, I don't know if well loved or people just find me, yeah, come on, it's Teresa. You never know what you're gonna get. I'm like a box of chocolates. Oh dear. Hold on. Right, let me just double check that we're not messing up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we nearly messed up. Do you know what? Today I've nearly messed up about 4 times already. Hello from freezing Iceland. Oh wow. And we're worried about how cold it is here. I'm sure it's absolutely nowhere near as cold as you. Teresa, you just have in the way you are telling us on here. Oh, Emma. Yeah, but it's not enough. It's not enough, you know, to just tell people how I feel about about how it makes me feel to know that, you know, I mean, and to be honest, I mean, a lot of you have been very, very loyal subscribers that have been here from the beginning. You remember my first videos, and I had no idea none whatsoever at the time that I was doing those videos that here I would be, like, so many years later, with the same people still supporting the channel. Totally get it, Teresa. It's hard work as well. Mad Multi, it is hard work, but you know when it's like there's certain work and there's certain things that we do that you love doing, and it doesn't seem to matter how hard it is sometimes, you still absolutely thoroughly enjoy doing it. Well, this is that. This is that absolute amazing feeling that you get. I mean, some of the messages, I mean, honestly, some of the messages that I get where people sort of say, Teresa, I'm stuck at home, you know, I can't get out, you know, I've got underlying health conditions, and you brighten my day, you make me smile, you know, you get those sort of comments, and you sit there and think to yourself, do you know what, I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased that I can make somebody else's day. I can make somebody else smile. I can make someone feel less lonely. And they can be thousands and thousands and thousands of miles away from me, you know. And there's no one in any sight that would be knowing to them, that would go round and think, oh, well, you know, love them. They're obviously a bit low. They're a bit upset. You know, I'll pop round and make them a cup of tea. You know, if I could be that person to go round that person's house and make them a cup of tea, I would. But you know as well as I do that when I'm in one country and other people are in another country, it's not doable. But if this is the bit that I could do that for, you know, that's like eye-watering tears. Makes me very warm and fuzzy. Hate it when that happens. Was going to say well deserved. I think loved is right. I had the frog come visit today. He has now been shown the door. Louisa, I'm pleased to hear that. Don't let the frog come to me instead then. Which is, well, it's more than likely. The fact that I'm trying to multitask here with my stitching and talk to you all at the same time and be super excited all at the same time. Yeah, there's always room for a frog in this house, apparently. Can you thank us all by finishing Evening in the Park? Do you know what? Evening in the Park is on its Omnique frame with its side stretchers in the living room, and every single day that I have sat there watching the football, I've kept looking at it thinking, God, I'd love to do some stitching on you, but I've got to do my silly finishes for Christmas first. So yeah, it's waiting. It is waiting to be sat there, and I've got some specialty stitches. That's the first thing that I'm going to hit first, is some specialty stitches, because yeah, I need to excite myself with it first. So I've decided that I'm gonna start with the specialty stitches. What have I done? Oh, we nearly had an error then, people. It's a good job I checked, wasn't it? See, we're keeping it real. It's so real on this channel. You just never know. She could do it if she could bring herself... Oh, the chat just disappeared. Do you know what? I think I officially need someone to sit in the room with me to actually read out what this chat says, rather than me trying to read the chat, because every time I look down and then I look up, all the things that I saw, and I was like, okay, that one will be next, that there's next, and it's all disappeared, and it's a whole new chat. Like Linda says, congratulations, Teresa. Hello from snowy East Sussex, finally finishing my marking and made it to the live. Oh, Carol, welcome to the stream. Oh, do you know what? I've got a speech impediment today. Welcome to the stream. Oh, you're not the only one having the snow. Is it still snowing? I'm just looking. Oh, it's still snowing. It's actually really heavily snowing out there. I might have to go for a walk in the snow with the girls after I get off stream, because they've never experienced snow. How did you get your pattern into GoodNotes? Do you have a PDF? So for GoodNotes, yeah, I basically just scan my chart, with my printer. And then once I've done that, I load it. So I basically save it in my files. Oh, Laurie Canstitch, my lovely, thank you so much for the lovely super chat. Can we have some love in the chat? This is just, oh, guys, what are you doing? You just, oh, you're so lovely, so lovely. I really do. Oh, I could cry. I'm not gonna, because I've got eye makeup on. You don't want to see like black dribbles all over my Father Christmas, do you? Because we will in a minute. What are you like? You lovely people. You're killing me with kindness, literally. Okay, I'm back into cross stitching after 20 odd years, and you are the first channel I subscribed to. Oh, June, 20 years, my lovely. What? So, since you're back in your stitching after 20 years, you have to share with us what is your first project back. Come on, share it with us. Charlotte says, yes, Teresa, finish it. I'm getting there, sweetie. I'm working on it. Really, I am. Okay, where was we? Sorry, Linda. How did you get your pattern into GoodNotes? Do you have a PDF? So yeah, so what I do is I use my handy dandy printer. I get my chart. I scan it, save the file in my documents, and then on my iPad, because I save it in either my Dropbox or my OneDrive, I can then import it onto GoodNotes, and then I can just squiggle all over it. I lost a needle today, couldn't find it. Now I'm fighting knotting thread. Oh, Michelle, my lovely. You're not having a good time of it, are you, sweetheart? Teresa, I remember your first ever video. I have enjoyed your videos all these years. I know you don't know me, but I feel like we are long-time friends. Do you know what? Everyone that comments, everyone that, you know, everyone I comment to. The thing is that there's so many people that their names pop up. Even the ones, do you know what? I've just gone and done it again. Teresa, what are you doing? Even the people that, oh no, don't do that. Okay, right. You're not watching this, okay? So just pretend you're not seeing this, but Teresa's gonna fudge this because I keep going into the wrong hole. Because I'm not watching what I'm doing. Hold on, let me just get this in because it's bothering me now, but I'm having a problem just being able to count 3 little holes. See, you're making me go warm and fuzzy. I'm losing the plot here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are we still in frame? Yes, we are still in frame. That's okay. I had a sneaky suspicion then that I'm sitting here stitching and you couldn't actually see it. Teresa, look outside at the snow. Good morning, lovely ladies. I'm off to work now. I'm doing a lovely lady in red chart that I bought off Etsy last night. Karen, bye, my lovely. Go and have a lovely day at work. Hello, I have a question. I have a cross-stitch project that the stitch count is 124 by 120 and I bought 18 count fabric. Could I cut the fabric to 20 by 20 for it to fit? Karen, have you not got one of the fabric calculators? I think the X Stitch app has one and it just makes it so much easier if you do that. Or I think there's a couple of websites. Does anyone know of where she can do a check? I mean, I've got one, but if someone puts it in the chat, because it's super easy. Once people know where to go, it just takes all the maths out your head out. I started Elizabeth Weston tonight. Wow, the counting. This border is a killer. Oh, Charlotte, welcome to my world. It's hard going, isn't it? Unscrub my frame. Donna's just found her needles. All that scrappling around on the floor and it was actually rolled up in her frame. Teresa, you are the reason I'm doing full coverage. I remember your tutorials that I watched. Linda, wow, God, yeah. Do you know what? I absolutely loved making those because I was like, well, look, I know I struggled to work out what to do. So I was like, well, if I just tell it the way I done it, then I'm pretty sure that, you know, anyone that hasn't already done it, they could just sort of, yeah, any help that I could give to others. But then that's what my channel's always really been about. I can't believe you just did that. Jennifer, why? Can you see it now? See, that's my point. I can make a little boo-boo, and even though I know where that boo-boo is, in 2 days or 2 weeks' time, I won't know where that boo-boo is. And can you see where the boo-boo was? It's gone. Magic. Absolute magic. Oh, Fat Quarter Shop has a fabric calculator. Okay, Susan says, help please. Oh God, it's disappearing. She's stitching a Haid on 16 count with 2 strands, but it's very thick. Could I do it with 1 strand or maybe a 10 stitch? 16 count. Oh, Charlotte has just posted on the stream Yarn Tree's cross stitch calculator. So for those that need to know about their fabric sizes, that's your link. That's where you can go and find out. You just put the height and the width count in, and then what count fabric you're looking to use, and it will tell you how much fabric you need, and obviously you can then decide how much border you want. Just always remember that you need to put some sort of border on it, because whatever the stitch area is, you need to have enough around the edges to do your finishing. You gave me the confidence to do my first Haid. Yeah, but now that you're doing them, do you actually think you really needed me? That's almost like the whole point of everything to do with the whole full coverage mini series that I did, was that I was completely, well, intimidated as a new stitcher trying to do a full coverage. And even I was sitting there thinking, what on earth am I doing? Why would I do this to myself? You know, I have no idea what I'm doing. But the reality of it was that actually it is so easy to do once you've got your head, once you found what works for you, and then you play around with it and you tweak other people's ideas and then come up with your own little style. Once you have your style and you've nailed your style, then you wonder why you ever really needed anybody else's help, because it makes total sense all of a sudden. It's like it's like a penny dropping, isn't it? You go from having no idea what you're doing, or at least that's what you think, and muddling through, and then all of a sudden it's like a light bulb moment, and it's like, wow, that's so much easier than I thought. I think it's only because we try and overthink it, and we allow for the project to intimidate us because there's so many threads and the fabric's so big and there's so many stitches. But let's be honest, it's no different to one of these. It's just this has got space around it, but other than that, the stitching is pretty much the same. It's not really that much different. So June says, just finishing Winter Deer and Fleur de Paris. The Snow Queen is next. Cricket seasons of the series. Oh, sorry. Cricket series of the seasons. Wow, what is going on with me today? It's like I've got some sort of dyslexia. You can calculate either Ada or even weave or linen. Yep, on the calculator apps you can. And if you've got really good maths, you could do it just using the math as well. 123 Stitch website under the fabric section at the bottom. So they have a fabric calculator too. Okay, I've ordered the new Bella. She's my first. Thanks, Teresa. New rabbit hole. Kimberly, what Bella are you going with, sweetheart? You'll have to tell us. Charlotte's right. Haids are easy. Full coverage is easy to stitch. It's just very, very time consuming. I've never heard of Haid until I watched your videos. I now own 4. Sorry, Tina. Not sorry. I'm on my 4th Haid in 2 years because I've come across your videos. I love the full coverage. Do you know what? I love the full coverage, but for some reason or another, I seem to be stitching them less and less. Not out of choice. I think it's just lack of time. Whenever I sit down with a full coverage, I like to think that I've got time to sit and stitch at least 100 stitches. And in all fairness, some of my pieces, because they're Josephine wools, they're really quite confetti heavy. And because they're so confetti heavy, I can't even do 100 stitches. I get like 50 stitches and it's time for bed. Especially like on a weeknight. It doesn't help having the little monsters behind me, although they're not acting much like monsters now, are they? I'm gonna have to get up and look at that snow in a minute, because I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see whether everything's covered in white or whether it's sort of melting. I don't think it can melt. I think it's too cold to melt. Currently, she says. Famous last words. You watch. I'll look out the window and I'll be like, it's all gone. Although if I move, maybe the girls might get disturbed. Hold on. Let's mark them. Oh, look at them. Let me move, look. Can you see them? Butter wouldn't melt, right? Yeah, right. Hold on, I'm just going to quickly check this snow. Do you know what? It's not quite snowman weather. Well, there's not enough snow to make a snowman just yet. But if it continues as it is, Teresa might have to go and put her winter clothes on and go, I don't know, angel making in the garden with the girls. The girls have never experienced snow. It's going to be interesting to see what they make of that. I bet they're going to be like, we're not going out there, Mum. No way. No way are we going out there. I'm going to be kicking them out the door. You watch. Talking of the girls. So, did I bring my... No. Oh, I'm gutted. You didn't see my... Up on there was a conch. I say a conch. I don't think people know what I mean. It's like a gnome. But I bought gnomes that, you know, one that had a set of skis and one that was on like a sledge. One that was doing something else. But it was a set of 3. And I put them down in front of the TV. And the little monsters behind me, when we went out, I think Lauren was asleep, decided that it was their toy. So they ate one of them. Like, chewed it up. And it was mullered by the time I got home. And I was just like, oh God, come on, girls, no. So, me being me, I just decided that I'd order myself another set. Because I'm like, well, I can't have a set that's got one missing. Because they come in a set of 3. So I ordered another set. And put them further back, thinking the girls can't get to them then. So the one that they chewed up, that was destroyed, I put in here. Because I was like, well, he's sitting right over there. No one will actually see that half of his sledge has been nobbled because they chewed on him. But then this morning I was in here doing some bits and pieces on the computer, and unbeknownst to me, Bonbons had got the exact same one. So the exact same one of the next set, and completely annihilated it. Again. So needless to say, they were in the doghouse this morning. Because I didn't know which one it was that did it as well. That's what makes it harder, because obviously when you've got 2, they both look guilty. They were both acting very guilty. So I was just like, really, girls? Really? So both of them had to be told off because I didn't know which one it was. Only to find that when I watched the CCTV back, it was so Bonnie. It was all Bonnie. Honey didn't even touch it. I think maybe she got a nobble of it after Bonbons had destroyed it. Right, hold on. I'm just... 1, 2, 3. Okay. My Boston Terrier, rest in peace, used to play dead when I tried to get him to go out in snow. Oh, Jess. Oh, it's too funny. There's been a couple of times when it's been raining and Honey's gone to bolt out the door and then just sort of backed up straight into my foot, and my foot might have happened to sort of like mush it out the door. Nothing aggressive, of course, but more of a case of, you know, you want to go out there and have a wee wee, darling. Mummy's telling you that's what you need to do. But yeah, I've got a sneaky suspicion Bonbons just doesn't care. She doesn't seem to care how cold it is, how wet it is. She's going regardless. Honey, on the other hand, she can be a bit of a diva, like, mum, I'm not going out there. I'd rather cross my legs and hold it. My dog Lucy is still sleeping on the bed. Hi Stephanie, welcome to the stream. Tree, there's a cross stitch I'm doing cottage and it's confetti heavy as well. Yeah, unfortunately the problem with the heids that, you know, that you can have with them is because when you get into what I call a confetti heavy section, they can be a bit hard going. So like, I find working on my full coverages harder now I'm back to work predominantly in London, because I'm more tired. And whereas normally, you know, even when I'm working from home, if I come and sit and do some stitching straight after work at like 5 o'clock, my brain is still more fresh than it is when I get in off of a train after doing a 2-hour commute home. So I tend to find that I'm just going for easier stitching rather than the harder stitches. Right, hold on, where are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4 we want. There's 4. Oh. No, don't like that there. That's not where you're supposed to be, is it? This is the only trouble with this fabric. This even weave. It's not... Each of the weaves is not a particularly clear weave, if you know what I mean. That is looking wonderful. Oh, thank you, my love. It's slow progress. Very slow progress, but every stitch counts. I'm going to convert a Haid into a diamond painting at some point. I may do that for a supersized max colour, thinking of either a Josephine Wall or an Amy Stewart. That would be lovely. Although I must admit, I tried diamond painting. It wasn't for me. It just wasn't. I really got bored with it really quickly. Hi Teresa, I just finished the High Heels Patron 3 as it was a Christmas present from a friend. Oh, glorious. I'm still working on my my high heels, but they've gone on the back burner because I'm trying to stitch festive-y things for now, at least. Okay, so 2, 4. Okay, this is where I cannot afford to mess this up, because if I count this wrong, his shoulder's going to look a little wonky. We don't want any wonky shoulders here. Okay, so let's just try to stay on track. Teresa, do you do this? Do you sit there and talk to yourself when you're stitching? Or is it just me? Although I'm not actually sitting here talking to myself, am I? Because you are all here. I mean, alright, you're not here. But you're here, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I am talking to someone, and it is nice to know that there's people there. Because if I sat, could you imagine if you just sort of sat here doing this in general, just sort of sitting there chatting away to yourself? And although there are occasions that I will sit and talk to myself, on occasions. But it's much nicer knowing that there's people actually there listening. How's the music? Is the music okay? Is it still playing? It's not too loud? Just had a moment thought there. Teresa, did you get the picture of the fox that I sent you on Facebook Messenger? A picture of a fox? Hold on. Hold on. Facebook Messenger. Oh, Nicola, my lovely. She's just sent me a really, really lovely message. When she's feeling positively yuck right now. Nicola, my love, thank you so much for that lovely message. That was lovely. Emma. Morning, honey. Oh. Oh, is that a cross stitch? Am I allowed to share it? Am I allowed to share it on the stream, Emma? Hello, I just joined. The Santa is beautiful and I like the fabric. Thank you so, so much. I started my first Haid January the 1st. Oh, I start my first Haid January the 1st, 2023. I saw videos. Love from the Netherlands. Oh, fingers crossed the first is just going to go swimmingly. It's going to be like, wow, why have I not started it before now? I'm a pro talking to myself. It's not just me then. I talk to myself too. I talk to the threads. I do talk to the stitching because I'm like, really, come on. Don't mess with me now. We're all visiting you, so you are not alone. Do you know what? I don't feel alone. When I'm doing these, other than the noise volume of like other people talking in the background, it is like I'm in a room full of people, even though I can only hear myself. Talk to myself all the time. Sometimes I get an answer. I hope it's the right one because normally mine's the wrong one. It's like, yeah, do it, Teresa, do it. It makes total sense. And then everyone's going, Teresa, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I really don't know what I'm doing. Yes, I sit here and talk to myself stitching. This is a single woman's life. My cats are here, so there is someone here listening. Totally. Charlotte says, I find myself singing to your background music. Rocky looks like I've lost the plot. Oh, love him. Well, at least yours is looking at you. Mine, well, mine are acting like well, they're acting like I'm not even here. They're sound asleep. We have, oh, Pam, thank you so much for the subscription. Or for subscribing, should I say. Love, love, love. What's funny is when I speak or reply out loud to you, then I should have typed it. Oh, Donna Marie, what are you like? Yes, it's a cross stitch that I did, and yes, you can share it. Okay, so I need to show you this. So Emma was just saying to me that she's done some stitching, and she sent me a picture. So I've got to share this, and you tell me that you're not wowed by this. How can you not be wowed by that? Would you look at that? Look at it. It's on that gorgeous... Is that a navy fabric on there, Emma? Is that a navy fabric? It looks navy from here, but wow. Look at that face on that fox. He's such a fox. Such a fox. It's glorious. Emma, are you going to tell us how long it took you to finish that? Music is fine. I'm singing along. I find myself nodding in agreement to things Teresa says. Music is just fine. Okay, just as long as... Just be sure to let me know. If the music starts creeping up in volume, just make sure you let me know. Don't sit there suffering in silence to some hideous music like Christmas stuff that's just bellowing through your ears, okay? Michelle Immunity saying, is this a Dimensions kit? That looks lovely. It is a black fabric. Wow, that fox is gorgeous. Just incredible. Looks like a photo. It does. I mean, when I saw it, I was like, wow, look at that. So it took her a year to do. Is it a Dimensions, Emma? Is that a Dimensions kit? Right, let me just make sure I'm not messing up here. Where are we? 1, 2. 1, 2. Oh, oh no, come on. Really? Okay, we're going to end the thread there. We need another thread, people. Beautiful fox. Yeah, definitely get some claps in the chat for that. That's gorgeousness. Whenever you saw it. Where are we? Where am I on my chart? I'm losing where I'm at. So we've done one, and we've got that one there. So since as we're sort of sitting here talking about stitching and all the stuff, and we started that controversial conversation about male stitchers, right? Which I don't actually think, well, all right, I started the conversation because I asked the question. Charlotte then went on to the Bella Filipina website and might have then asked the question, could we have men? And then it just all went a bit crazy on there, didn't it? With and then Drin basically was like, wow, didn't realise there was such a calling for men or males, which was really quite funny. But by the looks of it, it looks like he is gonna chart us some more male figures to stitch. So I'm really quite keen to see what transpires from that. I really am. But it would be so nice if we had more males to stitch to go along with our fancy ladies, she says. Now I know what you're thinking. You're like, Teresa, what are you doing? Rather than turn my fabric over, and because I was having an issue with the ending of the thread there, I'm ending it there and then just stitching over it to tie it in. Teresa, you cut in the front. Yes, I did. That's exactly what I did. But because I've now done this cross over the top of this stitch, this is all cool as if you'd done it yourself on the back. So I'm gonna trim that off. I agree. We need more fancy men. Yes, we do. Most definitely, she says. Okay, where am I now? Right, let's go over here. 2 more. I'm very interested to see what we get though, because yeah. I mean, like I say, I nearly went and bought myself that Triton, the Triton one, the Triton Bella Filipina. Only because I had that floss that was going to be travelling alone, but I decided to let it travel on its own in the end. Dimensions have a few wizards from the James Hinsworth. Oh, I didn't know that. I'll have to have a little look. Wow, learnt something new. Thanks, Susan. What I would normally do, Susan, in all fairness, so you see how there's this, well, you can't see it. I've actually finished, oh yes you can, there's a finished thread there, which was from further up here. So what I'll do is, if I know I'm going to be stitching over a patch in the same colour, I will pull my thread further away and finish it on the front, and then do more stitches, and then just cut this little end off. It just makes it so that I don't have to keep flipping my work, and especially when I'm on these streams, because it's so difficult to keep flipping my work. I'm hoping, she says, so you know when you sort of, I don't want to jinx it. I would like to think that it's going to happen. So my husband has actually read my Christmas list for once that I've given him. Hey Amy, thank you for the new subscribing to the channel. My husband was asking about, Christmas bits. What do I want? And I said to him, well, I'm not really that phased about having something on the day. I really don't mind that. I said, but there is this really nice desk sort of stand that I would like. And he was like, but you've got desk stands, babe, for your stitching. He said, why on earth would you need any more? So I was like, well, the one that I've got, I said, is great. I said, but it only does Q-snaps, which is this one. It's like the Lowry corner clamp. But the other thing that I really struggle with it is because I can't really turn my work very easily, because the setup of, I mean, you can't see it, but because of the setup with the camera overhead, so I've got the camera up there, and what I have to do is, so that it doesn't autofocus on my hands, which has happened in the past, where all of a sudden every time I move my hands it all goes a bit fuzzy. So that doesn't happen, I have to put it on manual focus. But obviously the camera's so far away from me, I can't just move the camera really easily without having to stand up, and yeah, it's just not a very professional look. But the problem is as soon as I flip my work over, because where I do the flip, it changes something with the way it is. It all goes fuzzy anyway, so I don't want it to go fuzzy. So I find flipping it is much more tricky. Plus, on this one, it has got like the L bend here, right here, and then obviously I've got the bar that connects there, which is what the stitching's connected to. But I can't have that higher because I have to loosen it to be able to flip it over. But each time I try and flip it over, it normally catches on the bottom of the table. So I'm rather hoping, she says, that I'm not saying I'll get it for Christmas, because I'm not sure that I will get it for Christmas. I don't think my husband's that well organised yet. Thank you for the subscription, Amy. Amy M121. But I have, oh God, I've gone and done it again. Right, don't watch. Yeah, I have done it again. All right, ignore this. You're not seeing this at all. There you go. So I am rather hoping that hubby has took on board everything that I've said and is considering purchasing me the Omnique table stand, because if I get one of those, I don't have to keep using this. I can actually use and the Q snaps, I'll be able to use the Omnique frames, and the way that it's set up is it sits higher, so I can just flip the work over. I'll just sort of fling it round, whereas with this it's a bit cumbersome and really quite tricky to do. So yeah, you never know. But I did say to him, it hasn't got to be, you know, I said it doesn't have to be on Christmas, it could be after Christmas, you know. There's no, you know, because I mean, even if he'd have got it when I showed it to him, chances are I don't think that there was any way that it would have been shipped in time anyway. So he turned around and he was like, well, what colour do you want? And I was like, well, I think I want the graphite one. And he was like, well, don't you want the black one? And I was like, no, I think I'd like the graphite one. He was like, well, I don't think they've got all the parts in the black, in the graphite. He said some of it's in black. So I was like, well, you know, like I said, it doesn't need to be at Christmas. It can arrive after Christmas. So I'm rather hoping that I'm going to get a new desk stand. And then I think I'm going to have to bite the bullet and get the floor stand, because I would like to do more stitch with me's from the living room when the girls are chilling, but the stand that I've got, my needle needs ones, for some bizarre reason it's just a bit wiggly now. It doesn't sit still, and because it doesn't sit still enough for me to right, okay, I'm going to do what I was saying. So Susan, you was just saying about, well, you never knew what I finished on the front. So I've just finished my stitching up here in this corner, and all this colour here is going to be filled in with a completely different colour. So because that's my last stitch there, I'm going to bring this down sort of, I don't know, somewhere around there, and I'm going to pull it forwards, and I'm just going to end my thread at the front. And I know that it's an ended thread because I make them fairly short. And then what I'll now do is pick whatever this colour is, go down and stitch from the top. When I get to about here, I'll cut this end off, and obviously the back, this bit of thread that's running around the back will be tied into the stitches. So just for those of you that don't or have never tried finishing on the front, this is how I do mine. Okay, right. More dashing gentlemen will be a good addition to the fancy ladies. You're not wrong there, Paula. Stitchy no, good morning, Teresa. Hi from Australia. Sorry I'm a little late joining. You are not a little late joining. And Australia, what time is it there? It must be like, is it the middle of the night or first thing in the morning or... I front tie off when using a frame. If stitching in hoop in hand, then I will flip. Yeah, if I wasn't on stream, I would probably just have flipped it over. But on this particular stand with this size Q-snap, I can't just flip it because the Q-snap is deeper, which is fine if I go in one direction-ish. No, actually it's not. No. So when I flip it, it can only go in one direction. And if I do that, it flips outside of the camera. So then you just see my legs. It's not a cool look. Yeah, it's because of your full coverage videos that I started my Hades. Isabel, I never knew that. I'm learning things that are new. Okay, let me check. What colour do we need next? We need 666, the number of the beast. The number of the beast. And would you believe it? I don't know if I've got 666, have I? Oh, yes, I have. It's just that he hasn't been organised onto in any way, shape or form. Let's put him there a minute while we put this one away. If sent by Royal Mail, it wouldn't arrive before Christmas. No. And to be honest, I'm fine because I've got this. I've been making do with this. It's just that now I'm doing more of these live streams. It's only when you're doing like live streams and you're sort of sitting at a table like this that you sort of sit there and think, it's fine for small Q-snaps. But now that I've got the bigger Q-snap, unless I was sitting facing out this way so that it wasn't over the top of the table, that would work. But then I would be facing that way, which means you'd be sort of get the side of my head. So that won't work because I need to have you in front of me so I can see what I'm doing. Because I need to see the love. I need to see the love from the people. Otherwise, that would be just me sitting here stitching and talking to myself, literally, she says. Even though that is actually sort of what I'm doing, but you're still there. You're still very much there, people. It's 7:37 a.m. on Monday morning. Oh, I do hope you haven't got to go to work. Cool, I learnt how to finish a thread on the front. Thank you. You are more than welcome. You just need to make sure that where possible, and always remember this, don't try and finish a thread on the front if you're not going to be covering it with other stitches on the back. So you need to make sure that you're going to be sort of tying the thread in with other stitches. So you have to sort of strategically place where you end, if that makes sense. Teresa, do you have a Lowry stand? I love mine. I do have one, but I don't really use it. So my main stands that I do use, I've got upstairs in the bedroom, I've got a, what's it called again? A Velka Patoki floor stand. I think it's called an M5. But it only holds Q-snaps, but it holds very big Q-snaps. So I can get like a 12 by 12 or an 11 by 11 and it just flips around. It's fabulous. Oh, hello. Here comes the obligatory Bailey's just sort of made its way in the door. And there goes the girls. Are you going? Come on then. Go to Daddy. Do you want to call her, babe? No, let me help Bonbons down. She's a little bit sleepy. Hold up. Are you coming down? Huh? You going to Daddy? Come see the people. See the people first. See? Say hello. Say hello. Right, go on. Go to Daddy. Go to Daddy. Off you go. Oh. There we go. You just gotta love hubby. He just knows. He knows when I need what I need. And because it's Christmas, we've got so much Baileys at the moment. I'm just like, wow. It's not doing anything for my waistline. But it is quite nice. So what's this? I'm sure you have lovely legs. Well, They used to be lovely. Yeah, I'm still fighting with the fitness because of the back. I need to get back to doing some stuff is what I need to do, and then I'll be happier with my legs again. In fact, I'll probably be happier with my whole body then. But yeah, I've got a holiday that I'm preparing for. I'm supposed to be going on holiday in February, of which that's been in complete drama. So I was supposed to have been going to Mexico in February. I was taking Darren away for his 50th to Mexico for 10 days, and I got notified to say that they were cancelling our flight, or one of the flights had got cancelled. So now we've had to rebook somewhere else. So at the moment it looks like we're going to be going to the Dominican Republic, but it all gets confirmed tomorrow. So yeah, not going to Mexico now, but at least I'm still going somewhere, and it's going to be for 2 weeks instead of 10 days. So yeah, we need to get bikini ready. So yeah, I mean, a few more Baileys won't hurt though, will it? Katie the Novel Stitcher. Hi my lovely, welcome to the stream. Just tuning in from Pennsylvania. Rainy and cold here today. Perfect for stitching. That does sound like perfect stitching weather. I'm working on my second Haid Mini in the sewing room with the cutest little sewing mouse in it. Oh, Jeanette, that sounds lovely. Monica, I sent you a picture of Sister Moon on Facebook Messenger. Let's have a look. Let's have a look, Monica. Oh, wow. Would you look at her? That is lovely. Are you going to be stitching the background as well? Shall I share it? So this is the design. So that's what Monica's talking about. That's the picture of Sister Moon. How gorgeous. How gorgeous is that? Love, love, love. Love, love, love. How much are people getting charged for the import on the frames? I have no idea, to be honest. Does anybody know? Oh, I've got a dog scratching at the door again now. This is what happens when Darren comes in. He comes in, disturbs the girls. Then they decide they want to come back in and come back out.
Mum, can I let her in with you?
Which one is it? Yeah. You coming back in? Huh? Are you going on the bed? You can't come and sit up here. See, now this is what happens. What, baby? Oh, come. Come. Oh, there we go. What, you want to sit there? Tell you what. Do you want to sit down next to Mummy? Look, she's making this impossible. We've got like... What are you doing? Huh? I know you love me. But you've been specifically naughty, haven't you? Is that it? You just want to sit on Mummy's lap? Is that how that works? You can't sit there because you don't just lay down. If you laid down, it would be fine. Look, sit down there. There you go. Lay down. Lay down. If you lay down, right, and Mummy will do her stitching. That's it. There. Things we do for our pets, right? Although, she's the naughtier one out of the two, I think. That's Mummy's hand. Don't be licking the hand. Bob-ons, stop. This is a new one. Stitching whilst Bonnie's sat on my lap. So sorry, where was we? How much are people getting charged for the import on the frames? I don't really think I've been charged with any. I think I've been quite lucky, in all fairness. What are you doing? I tell you what, let me put her on the bed because it's not working, is it, baby? Go on. Lay down. This is Mummy's girl. Oh. Yeah, I'm trying to think about the charges for the imports on the frames. I don't think I've been hit with any. Not additional charges. I mean, well, I think there was one that I got additional charges on. But I don't think it was astronomical. To put it like that. But it's been so long since I had a a stand ordered in. I mean, the frames I don't think I've been charged ever for the import on the, like, additional import charge for the frames. I think that's included when it went, well, I'm sure if customs grab it, then that might be a different matter altogether. But currently, so far, all the frames that I've had delivered haven't had any further charges than was expected when I actually placed the order. So yeah. I don't know if anyone else has. Has anyone else ordered any of the Omanique frames in? And if so, did you get charged with any additional import charges? Oh, Baileys and ice. You might have one. Might have one later. Well, for me, this is about as late as it gets, people. Because where are we? It's 10 to 9. And normally, because I've got work tomorrow, and because no matter what happens, I'll be up by 5 or half 5 at the latest. I'm normally in bed by about 10, between 10 and 10:30. That's like my quota. I mean, I was up this morning at, how did I get up this morning? I think I was up about 5:45 this morning. It's positively a lay-in, she says. There it goes. I wish I was going on holiday. Well, at this rate, I might be just still wishing that I'm going on holiday. It doesn't get confirmed until tomorrow as to what they're going to do. But, yeah. And curse, it's sod's law. So the holiday that we had booked wasn't that we got it for a bargain, because it was anything but a bargain. But it, you know, it was a reasonably priced holiday for 10 days in Mexico. And now that obviously they're cancelling all the flights, or they have cancelled the flights, all the other holidays, it's like the holidays have like jumped up like another, so everything that I was looking at was like another £1,000 on top, and I was like, you've got to be joking. So hence the reason why I was like, do you know what? And even then they were still trying to charge us £1,000 extra, and they weren't direct flights to Mexico. They were like what I call stopover flights. So it was like, the flight is long enough from here to Mexico. I don't want an indirect flight as well. I'm waiting on finishing piece for ornaments and started yesterday on a little Stitch Girl snowflake because I was waiting on fabric for another piece. So of course then the fabric also came. Do you know what? You just reminded me. So I did pop out. The one thing I did manage to do was pop out to Chatham and go and pick up my finishing fabrics for my Welcome Christmas. And because I've got so much going on and I still need to get one more Christmas present finished, and it needs to be done before Thursday. I've only got until Thursday to do it. I mean, I did almost anticipate doing it on this stream, but it's so small. I was like, I'm not sure how I'd do it. So I thought, no, I'll worry about it during the week. It's got a few days that hopefully I can just sort of get a wiggle on with it. But I do really want to get my Welcome Christmas FFO'd before Christmas. So I've decided that, yeah. Worst case scenario, I'm off work from, I think the 19th of December is my last day for Christmas. And then I'm off. So I was thinking, well, hopefully if I've, finished all my Christmas stuff and all the food stuff is all planned and prepped, I'm rather hoping that I can do some FFOing and get my Welcome Christmas FFO'd before Christmas. It might be the week before Christmas, but if I can get it done and have it on the side so that it's a nice pretty Welcome Christmas finish, like FFO, then I will be more than chuffed, let's say. More than chuffed. Love those scissors, Teresa. What brand are they? These ones are, she says, I was looking for Dovos. Now, obviously, Dovo scissors are discontinued. They're basically almost impossible to get your hands on. These ones are Italian brand and they're called Premax. I will put the link for these in my Google Doc so that you can see, but they're brand new. But the way that I mean, they're not as smooth as my Dovo scissors. I'll be honest, they're not. But they're not bad. They're not bad for a pair of scissors. And they're much more reasonably priced. And you can get these on Amazon. So yeah, love, love, love. They're very sharp though, so mind the little fingies, people. They are like super sharp. I do like a set of super sharp scissors. I'm actually getting a collection of scissors finally. Your camera is blurry. Is my camera blurry or is it someone's? Your Crohn's is poured. What does FFO stand for? So FFO is a fully finished object. So instead of it just being finished as in stitched, it means that it's been turned into something. Whether that means it's been framed or it's been turned into a cushion or it's been turned into a flat fold. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's alright then. As long as my camera's not blurry. I think the problem is I'm trying to show you my scissors, but obviously my scissors, if I put them flat like that, because they have to be on the fabric, because the camera is set to this specific height. Another reason why I can't just flip this over, because I would have to change its height to be able to flip it. So, but there you go. I hope that's... I've just noticed what you mean about everything's upside down, isn't it, to you? How about that? Is that any better? Is that the right way around to you? I can't tell. But they're called Premax. So Premax. And like I say, I will put them in the Google document after I finish the stream. I'll put the link to my Google document in the description box of the video. So if you're interested, I'll put the link. But I got mine from Amazon, so. But they are. I just really, really like them. Really like them. Okay, come over here, you. Come on. There we go. We used to have PMDs. Currently, Mama Mare's. What is that? Merema are much lighter. I've never heard of that brand. Susan says, thanks, so excited to test your way. Now need to go to sleep. It's nearly 11 p.m. So good night to all. Have a wonderful week ahead. Huge hugs. Night night, Susan, and thank you so much for coming and hanging out on the stream. Just came in and I missed a lot. Leslie? Not much. A lot of trees are rambling, I think. Not blurry here. Good stuff. I struggle to get my fingers in the finger holes for the traditional stitching scissors. Yeah, see, I've got quite small hands, so I'm quite good there. But these have got a very big hand, like they've got quite a big hole for the fingers. So yeah, they're pretty good. They're a good stitching scissor. But I don't like anything that's too heavy. I don't like heavy scissors. I like lightweight scissors. I mean, by far, yeah, my Dovos were just, but they just don't do them anymore. They're just discontinued. And I've never really found anything other than these Premax ones that I've actually really quite liked. But I like a smooth cut. You know, where you get that smooth sort of snip. I don't know how to describe it. How do you describe that? It's almost like it just sort of goes chunk. And it's, yeah. But there's no grating. Like the blades don't grate on each other or anything like that. I'm thinking about getting a tablet, but don't know what kind. What would be good for Pattern Keeper? Well, there's a lot of people that went and got is it the Kindle Fires, wasn't there? I don't know. I don't have a Kindle Fire. I have a Huawei T3 or T5. But yeah, I mean, there you go. Look, so Silver Stitches says Samsungs are pretty good. It's showing your right hand on top with Father Christmas face to the right. I think it's backwards this time round. Is it? Oh. Hold up. So it's showing... What is it showing? It's showing my right hand. Oh, it is showing my right hand on top, isn't it? Yeah, but it's not. That's my left hand. This hand here is my left hand that's on top. I think it might be because the camera has to be flipped. So I think the camera is the opposite way round. To get this angle, because this Q-snap is so big. It doesn't sit further back. So yeah. It's a trick, people. I'm tricking you all. PMD is Prenese Mountain Dog. She was commenting on my £180 floof. That is a great Pyrenees foot warmer. Oh, Paula, sorry, my lovely. I did wonder. I didn't know what. I thought we were still talking about scissors. Well, I was talking about scissors. I didn't realise we was talking about your little furry friend, or actually your very big furry friend. I could do with a foot warmer that big. Mine's not very good at being a very particularly good foot warmer. She's a lap warmer. She'll keep my lap warm. That's about it. Hi Teresa, I'm going now to bed with my dog Lucy. It was nice talking to you. Bye for now. Bye. Thank you for coming to the stream, keeping us company, and that we've kept you company. Have a lovely furry cuddle. Nothing like a bit of cuddles. I've been using my stalk scissors for years and they are still as sharp as the day they were bought. I use a KEI embroidery scissor. They aren't beautiful, but they're sharp. I have an Amazon Fire tablet and pattern keeper. Yeah, see, I know a lot of people have got the Amazon Fire tablet. I've never had one myself. I've got the Huawei tablet, which works perfectly fine. I used to have I think it was a Kindle Fire. Is it? Is that what it's called? I think I had one of those once. But then when I went to download Pattern Keeper on it, I'm trying to remember what happened. I think it was so old that it wouldn't work. That was why I decided to get the Huawei. But I only use it for my stitching for Pattern Keeper. I don't use it for anything else. But I do have an Apple tablet as well, which obviously most of the things that I use and do are all on like iCloud, so therefore the Apple tablet makes total sense for everything else. But I quite like the fact that I only my tablet, my Android tablet, is designated just to my Pattern Keeper. There's nothing else on it. Nothing slows it up. I don't download loads of apps. It's only used for the stitching, and that is it. Everything else gets done on my iPad. And I do quite like my iPad. I think it's what you get used to. If you're quite used to Androids, you get used to having an Android device. Then Android devices make total sense. But I've never really been an Android user because I've always been an Apple user and an iPhone user. Yeah, I just tend to find that it's easier for me to use what I'm better at using. And the Apple products is definitely the sort of thing that I find easier to use. I find that the Android sometimes gets a bit more complicated. Oh, hello. Have we already had some spam in the chat? 18 sex XYZ. I'm assuming that must be something really unpleasant as usual. I don't know what we said this time to encourage that. I don't think we've talked X-rated at all in this stream, have we? I think we've been really quite conservative in every topic. Maybe apart from Donna Marie crawling around on all fours. Other than that small remark, there was no other remark that turned that to an X-rated, right? Are you able to link your pip and chip cabinets, buns, etc. in the video after chat as well? Are you able to link your pip and chip cabinets? Oh, what you mean the boxes? Kim, is that what you mean? The boxes that I've got my chip and pips in? See, how funny is that? Silver Stitcher says, I cannot wait to go back to Android, not a fan of Apple. See, now I'm the opposite. I find that I really struggle with Android. The only time that I didn't struggle with Android, well, I say that, the only non-Apple device that I used that I could do without a problem was the old BlackBerry. Because that's what I used to use for work. But anything Android other than that, I've always got lost. Always got lost in it. I prefer a cheap reconditioned Android tablet from Amazon just for pattern keeper, and it works beautifully. Perfect. I think we have to really sort of... One, it's always about budget. I don't think you can argue that because everyone has a different budget. But as well as budget, I think it has to be something that... Especially if, like me, you've predominantly been an Apple user, and then all of a sudden you try and switch over to Android, it becomes really frustrating to try and learn how to navigate yourself around. And that's the biggest thing for me. I've never been able to navigate myself around. What have I got here? Hold on. So Charlotte's getting concerned that I've got a stitch with a leg going in the wrong direction. It's bugging me, but is your top leg of the stitch circled in the wrong place? Is your top leg of the stitch circled in the wrong place? Let's have a look. Where are you? I can't see where you are. Okay, so you're there. So 3 across there. So you're looking at 1 up. Is your top leg of your stitch circled in the wrong place? Charlotte, you're not supposed to point out the faults in my stitching. Yes, it is. You're totally right. It's in the wrong hole. Yeah. Okay. I will give you that one. So for those of you that might not have already noticed that if you see this stitch here, the top leg isn't in the right hole, and that's bugging Charlotte. Don't worry, Charlotte. I'm going to do another fudge. And that when I start my next row of white, I will go back up there and just stick another stitch straight over the top. Will that ease your OCD? I didn't want you to look at it later and be upset. No worries. Do you know what? This is why I like doing these sorts of things, because at least you can point out to me when I'm doing something wrong. Or when you see something that I don't see. But I had already seen that. And my plan was that when I got down to doing some more white, I would go back up and just stick another stitch over the top. No one will be any the wiser. A bit like what I did over here. How do you organise your threads for a Haid? All different ways. So sometimes if I've still got old projects, then I just keep them on the bobbins because they're already bobbinated. If they're new projects, I normally use my thread keepers. What else? Sometimes the thread, if it's a smaller, so if it's a story keep, then I think I've got my thread keeps on the project bars. But if it's quite a big one, like a normal size, I'll just stick them on a ring, on a couple of rings. Judy says, I'm carrying my phone around the house doing chores with your stitch along. Hubby looked at me with a funny smile. So is it that bad? Are you sort of like wiping with one hand and holding the phone in the other? Is it sort of like this type of dusting? Is this what we're doing? Do you know what? I'm going to call the stitching a day because I think we've done enough. I don't think I did too bad. Look, we've done all of this red. Don't you think I did well? We'll ignore this stitch over here that Charlotte's pointed out because I already knew that was there, but I wasn't actually planning on doing anything. But the fact that Charlotte saw it, which means predominantly there's a good chance that a lot of you have seen that as well now, I will need to fix it. Jennifer says, oh no, not again. Silver Stitches said, I'm not that observant, I must admit. I would also just do a top leg on top of that stitch. You won't be able to tell the difference. Yeah, definitely not. Okay, let me swing this over. Hold up. Let's swing this over, shall we? We're head on back. There we go. Let me move this out of my way. I don't think we did too badly after all that. We'll ignore the fact that, yes, okay, there might have been, you know, a stitch in the wrong place. Thank you, Charlotte, for pointing that out. I do love the fact that you're that observant. But yeah, I'm just fudging that. There's no way that I'm actually going to pull anything out to put it back in. So do you just put your pip and chip on the ring? So my pip and chips, like these ones. For those that don't know what we're talking about, this is what we're talking about. These pip and chips. There you go. These predominantly are what hold my full DMC set, and they're all in now. And when I decide I'm going to kit a project, now, I will either take some off of the full skein and put some of this. Because it's very rare that you're ever going to use a full skein of a colour on any of the projects unless it says you need 2 skeins. So what I tend to do is I will go to my DMC stash on these. I will take a number of sections of this and just put it onto either a thread keep, like an Annie's thread keep, or onto a floss drop, depending on whether it's a really small project or whether it's like a full coverage project. This will go back into stock, and then I roll with normally the Annie's keepers. However, she says, I have now got more of these that are blank, but most of those I am now using for when I'm kitting up my CXC threads. So if I'm doing a full coverage CXC threads, I'll put that on these on the project and write the number on, because I can just use some alcohol and rub it off when I've finished using it. But yeah, so most of the time these I just have as my main DMC, so it's easier for me to find the thread. I don't know about you, but I'm one of those people that if I've got to go searching for threads, I get put off. I'm like, oh, I can't bother with that. So I tend to find that I'm easily put off. But if I'm really well organised and I've got all of my threads and I've got... Because the beauty of this is I've only got to pull out these boxes, and if I've got any with a hole, with nothing in it, I know I need a new skein. And hopefully the idea is that when I get down to a very sparse amount on there, I can sort of place, if I'm going to order for like one thread, I can order for maybe, I don't know, go through the boxes and just quickly do a quick check. And you'd only need to scan because you can see straight through when you're running low. And I can make a little list of what I'm running low on and just order some new skeins and then just put them straight on. The idea with this system is that it makes it so that I should never run out of threads. like I have been, which is what I find the most annoying thing ever. Well done, Teresa, with the stitching that you've done. I don't think we did too bad. Not too shabby this evening. Looks marvellous, Brenda says. You could have kept it quiet. Charlotte, you know me, like a big open book. What you see is what you get. Warts and all. Errors as well. I don't see it either. Teresa, what's your favourite flavour on Bailey's? Original. I'm a bit of a sucker for the original. Don't like it, you know. Certain things I like different flavours on, but my Baileys, I do like the original Baileys. The little creamy original Baileys. I ordered 2 more frames. Took 2 weeks to get to California. No additional charges, just regular shipping. So this is for the Omanique frame, Rebecca, right? Lynn said, hubby's trying to stitch with 2 ruby cavaliers on his lap. Oh, love him. Oh. I must admit, mine don't try and sit on my lap when I'm stitching. Honey sometimes tries to creep on, but not Bonbons. Bonbons is more of a further down or to the side. She's not on me normally. She's just being a bit needy this evening. I think it's because I'm in here and I've not really sat down with her at all today. So she's like, come on, mummy, come and sit with me now. It's time. It's time you come and give me some love. Just want you to know I ordered all the things for Greta Goldbroom. Teresa made me do it. So, Nick, definitely. See, now she's a fancy lady. You got to get down with it. I'm loving the amount of people that are joining on the whole Teresa made me do it sale. I am loving that. And I cannot wait until the 1st. I've got the chart. The chart is here. I've got my threads. I've got my beads. I've got the fabric and I've bought the RIT dye. And I'm going to attempt to try and dye my own fabric because I think that's the only way that I will be ready for the 1st, because I'm never going to be able to get my hands on the fabric in the colours, like on a hand-dyed fabric in time. So, yeah, wish me luck. I'm going to try and... That's another thing that I've got to try and squeeze in. I would like to say the week before Christmas, but I keep saying I'm going to do all these things the week before Christmas, and I really don't see it all happening, if I'm honest. So it may be that I will do that the week between Christmas and New Year. And yeah, it'll be what it is. And even if I don't like it, I'm going to stitch on it. And that's that. We'll be done with that. Thank you for the explanation. Charlotte must have been watching on a big screen. Hello from New Zealand. You have a spammer. Okay. I do. I'm excited to start Magway and she's in the mail. Fabulous. Fabulous. Right, people. It is now 9:15. I've had an absolute blast. You have helped me do some stitching on something that I actually wanted to stitch on rather than something I didn't want to stitch on. Unfortunately, I do have to go back to stitching on another Christmas project because it has to be done by Thursday. So I'm going to have to console myself and just get on and do it and stitch something that I don't want to stitch. And hopefully by Thursday, I can just go back to stitching all the things that I want to be stitching on and love, and hopefully get a bit more stitching up. The plan, she says, what's going to happen? Let's have a little look. What dates are we looking at now? So today is the 11th. So next Sunday is the 18th. So yeah, I think we'll be cool for another live on the 18th. So if those of you fancy coming back for another hangout next Sunday, of course I will be here, 7 o'clock, providing no dramas happened and nothing bad happens. Yeah, so I think one more live stream pre-Christmas. Do you know what? I still haven't done my November update, so I'm like 11 days late for that. So that's another thing that I need to sort out. So I need to do that. I did do a stitching video where I just did some stitching of some Christmas ornament thing that I was doing with the intention of doing a voice overlay type thing, which I was thinking about testing out the whole Q&A thing where everyone was saying it would be really nice to have you stitching and then answering the Q&A that I get in YouTube. So that is the plan. The video is already made. It's just that I need to do the voice overlay with the Q&A. So hopefully, if time allows, I will get onto that and get that done and dusted this week. So hopefully there will be that comes up, but definitely the monthly update needs to happen. And then obviously heading off to Christmas, I'm gonna need to do my December final whip review, because I've done it every year. I don't think there's been a year that I haven't done it. Maybe last year, I think, but only because, was it last year? No, I did do one last year. So yeah, every year I have done a year-end review of my whips. This year will be no different. But when I do that year-end review, I think I will talk my 2023 plans, because yeah, I have plans, people. I have plans. I hope you have plans. I hope you have a wonderful week. Get lots and lots of stitching done. Stay safe, stay warm. My husband, loving, bought me this special blanket, which is electric. Someone told him, don't heat the room, heat the person. So literally he's took it to a whole nother level. He said, I can't have the heating on, but I can put an electric blanket over me. Welcome to my world. So yes, like I say, have a wonderful, wonderful week. Hopefully you'll be able to come back and we can hang out again next Sunday. So as long as nothing drastic happens, I will see you at 7 o'clock next Sunday. Yeah, happy stitching. Have a lovely week. And I'll see you next week, people. So bye-bye for now.